Thank you for joining me, Ashwin Berry, on NMH at 1, where we highlight the news making waves in Namibia and beyond, ranging from current affairs to community stories, sports and economic news. Coming up in this broadcast, Stina Wu battles $24 million Namibian property bill. Menzies asks court again to allow airport return and declare Shark Island as a sacred site, Dirks said. Follow all our programs on oneup2.com or DSTV 285 or GoTV 25 in Namibia. Midday news update after the break. First Rand Namibia Chief Marketing Officer Tracy Eagles explains the e-wallet fraud. Customers are urged to remain vigilant and avoid sharing their one-time PINs. OTPs are used when linking e-wallet on the app, cardless withdrawals at the ATM and online purchases. Philippus Usiku reports.
If you've opened your OTP to anyone, and I'll explain how awfully quickly that can happen, that person has access to your account. There might not be any money in your e-wallet, but they will know when it comes in, because they also have access just like you. So, for example, we had a customer who was on TikTok. I think she said she got money in at 6 o'clock, money went out at 8 o'clock. She didn't give a PIN to anyone. And she did it between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. But unfortunately, a while before that, she gave her OTP out. So she did not divulge the PIN, but this person, who is the fraudster, had access to her account, saw the 360 come in, pulled it out. And when we talk about working with NAMPOL, for example, NAMPOL will know about these situations. So we can see on our cameras who goes to pull the money out. Very often, it's not the mastermind criminal, it's runners. So it's the street children, it's whoever is looking for a quick buck. I'll give you $50 if you go draw that 5,000 or what. So we catch them, and of course, police can then follow them, and those are the guys getting caught. It's not necessarily the mastermind fraudster in the background who's actually pulling that money. So we do know that it happens. We see that people's money is taken. But this is what Johan was saying, is that if you should be compromised in this way, or you feel that your e-wallet is compromised, is to contact us. Tell us.
Visual News highlights local stories from across Namibia right after the break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Inspector General of the Namibian Police Force, Joseph Shikongo, today officiated the basic training for officer cadets at the Ruben Danger Ashipala Police Training Center in Ondangwa. The training started on the 1st of August. Shikongo indicated that recruitment comes at a time when the force needs more manpower. He urged the trainees to remain disciplined during their training. The training will see 842 officers trained for the next 9 months. Enzo Amwele reports.
We decided that the Inspector General should come here knowing that I'm going to talk to the police officers. You can see them there on the parade today, that they are ready to save the nation. They are ready and they understand why they are here. But if I could have come on day number 1, I would have spoken to people that are still feeling not this our democratic right, why should you come in front of us and start telling us all this nonsense. But I think by now they know exactly, they are here today to receive the commands, to receive the directions of this organization. You can see them there, they are very quiet, silent, well disciplined. But if it was on day number 1, you could hear them, some of them are still receiving cell phone, some of them are doing ABCD, and then we decided, let us give them time, so that when we go to them, we know we are going to talk to police officers. And I'm also very proud to indicate that many of the women that you see on the parade today, these were taken or were withdrawn from different regions of our country, from different constituencies of our country. Today, the parade here is representing the demographic of our republic. They are taken from all the 14 regions. We believe that no region is better than the other. All the regions of the country, 14 regions, they are all equal. And therefore we give them the same equal treatment. What happened during the recruitment, we decided, of course there were some number of complaints from some regions, such as Kars region, Hardap regions, Kunene, Kavango West, Ojozonjupa, and Omaheke. Whereas Inspector General, I directed the head of human resources by then to go to the regions and rectify probably few things that were there, or explain to the community the misunderstanding that would have been persisted at that particular time. And we believe that the conclusion indeed was that representation of all our people are here to join the parade.
Grootfontein residents and Landless People's Movement members Cassius Namaseb and Julius Khomseb handed over a petition to the police in the town this morning regarding 4 men who went missing in 2017. According to the missing men's families, they were last seen when they were picked up by a police officer driving a car with a Tsumeb registration number. The men are Bernard Nebeb, Rodney Willemse, Gerson Willemse and Siegfried Uyrab, all of whom were in their late 20s or 30s at the time. The families said there has been no progress in the case.
Started to negotiate with the owner of the farm for the matter to be withdrawn and for them to go back to their workstation. Our brothers were then picked by the police officer by the alias name of Skelde.
Stel jezelf asseblief voor. Wat is jou naam?
My naam is Steven en my se naam is Willemse mevrou.
Willem sê hierdie mense wat weg is, wie is hulle van jou?
Is my broertjies. Een is my broertjie is my broertjie en die twee is my neefkie. My eerste suster se seuns.
Wanneer het hulle weggeraak?
Hulle is 2017 is hulle weg, 8 September.
8 September.
Ja.
Hulle weggeraak.
Hulle is geroep vir eienaar wat hulle gewerk van. Hulle het 'n hofsaak gehad van hom. So hy het vir hulle gesê, kom julle na my toe laat ons kom praat oor die saak wat julle het. So wat hulle kom by Pumakrats. Dis hy wat die mannetjies kom gelei het. Dis Grootfontein se Pieters wat die mannetjies gelei het sondoeg. So ons het gekom 11 September. Toe sê hulle vir ons het nie bewys om vir hulle die goed kom aanklaar. Sê ons dis wat ons het, dis ons bewys. Hulle sê by wie wil ons die saak oopmaak? Ons het die rede om die saak oop te maak. Toe het hulle net vir ons 'n file oopgemaak wat sê 4 manne is weg van Grootfontein af. Laat ons gehelp word om liewer ten minste bene terugkry, dat ons onze mist begraven en tevreden kan voeren. Dis wat ons probeer om help zoek vir elke persoon wat vir ons kan help. Asseblief.
One question that has bothered the Landless People's Movement regional leadership is whether Namibia is becoming a mafia state or where citizens disappear in mysterious ways and the Namibian police is losing the plot against the prevention of crime on fast pace to at least help him find the bones of this child so that the family can give their beloved brother a decent burial and LBM being a political party that is associated with cry of those denied equal treatment in our independent Namibia.
Between August 2022 and June 2023, Namibia recorded 623 deaths by suicide. Health Minister Dr. Kalumbi Shangula revealed that 82% of these deaths were adult men, 15% were adult women, and 3% were children. The Namibian police announced that 3 more suicides had occurred over the weekend. The ministry yesterday commemorated Suicide Prevention Day, which takes place on 10 September each year, and said no single effort will make a difference, instead calling for collaborative action. The ministry has prioritized mental health and a new mental health theme that will revolutionize the approach and management of mental health, which is in the final stages of development. It will be introduced in Parliament in due course, Shangula said.
Pleasure to be here with you to commemorate the World Suicide Prevention Day. The 2023 World Suicide Prevention Day is being commemorated under the theme, Creating Hope Through Action. This theme guides us to take action as stakeholders and active members of public to create hope for everyone around us. Suicide is a major public health problem with far-reaching social, emotional, and economic consequences. As you have heard from the previous speakers, more than 700,000 people die every year due to suicide. And for every suicide, there are many more people who attempted suicide. And a prior suicide attempt is an important risk factor for suicide in the general populations. Over 77% of global suicide occurred in low and middle income countries in 2019. Scientific data has shown that there is an association between suicide and mental disorders, such as depression and alcohol-induced disorders.
After the break, Namibian Sun leads us into the newspaper review segment.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Namibian Sun reports that Chinese-born business tycoon Stina Wu has been dragged to court for alleged failure to pay 24 million Namibian dollars for properties she agreed to buy from Esmeralda Boahora Manahi, who now also demands $2.1 million for property rental for 21 months. Manahi has pleaded with the court to order Wu to vacate the properties and restore them to the state they were found in, claiming large-scale damage that has allegedly led to a significant drop in the value, roughly 13 million Namibian dollars in total. In papers filed filed with the High Court, Manahi alleged that she entered into a sale agreement on 26 October 2018 with Wu, who agreed to purchase her members' interest in Aquarius Investments. On page 3, the government's plan to combat inequality and increase access to educational opportunities for underprivileged children, especially orphans and vulnerable learners, includes school feeding programs as a key component. However, learners from Onakale Combined School in the Ohangwena region have complained that the soft porridge they receive through the Namibian school feeding program gives them diarrhea. Learners who spoke to Namibian Sun on condition of anonymity said the porridge is not well prepared. On the front page of the Republican, Dundee Precious Metals announced that it is taking steps to investigate what its employees and residents of Tsumeb are experiencing. According to the company's spokesperson, Alina Harises, certain employees reported symptoms of nausea and vomiting around mid-August, presumably due to a problem with the town's drinking water. In December, a similar incident was reported by Dundee when the quality of drinking water did not meet certain specifications. On page 3, the implementation of the Rule 121 order will simply mean that Menzies can immediately attend to the distribution of the load that the public urgently needs. The NAC again gave Menzies a 30-day notice to vacate. And on its front page, the Agamanat Zeitung reports that the theme of this year's Biomass Fair was boosting the growth of biomass sector in Namibia. The theme is intended to highlight the tremendous opportunities that the biomass sector offers for economic growth. On page 3, AZ reports that the tourism industry is in turmoil, with entrance and daily fees charged to foreign visitors who want to visit heritage sites in Namibia up close to 3 times higher. Many operators are avoiding these areas and preferring to visit alternative sites. We move over to the Namibian after the break.
Good evening and welcome to Sunset News.
Attachment stays in list A in the speech, rate and taxes, and how much.
After the break, we take a look at the sports.
We bring you
economic indicators, tomorrow's weather, and sports. I am Aina Raiza Kweyong.
The Namibian reports that the Construction Industries Federation and Metal and Allied Namibian Workers Union have appealed to President Hage Geingob to cancel all projects that exclude local contractors and have them re-advertised. The CIF and MANWU say the projects exclude the majority of Namibian-owned contractors, mainly due to steep financial pre-qualification requirements, and were therefore not in the interest of the sector as they undermined its optimal performance. On page 3, the General Manager of Finance and Administration at the National Fishing Corporation of Namibia, Mino Hadiseb, is embroiled in a dispute with the company's top management regarding the nature of his employment. Hadiseb joined Fishco on 2 December 2022, taking over a position previously held by Paul Ngalangi, who resigned in 2021. Last week, Hadiseb was placed on administrative leave on the recommendation of the company's CEO, Clive Hawanab, allegedly due to issues related to conflict of interest. The New Era's lead story reports that Nama Traditional Leaders Association Secretary General Deodat Dirksey said Shark Island should not be regarded as a tourist attraction and rather be declared a sacred site. He reasoned as such when interviewed by New Era in light of human remains discovered at the island and also that a memorial cross had been destroyed at the scene. Dirksey also questioned why places like Heroes Eka and Kasinga site are not also regarded as tourist attractions where people can be entertained, as all sites speak on people who lost their lives and made sacrifices for our freedom, he remarked. On page 3, Health Minister Kalumbi Shangula pleaded with Namibians to break the culture of silence and seek help, as suicide is a major public health problem with far-reaching social, emotional and economic consequences. Program data from August 2022 to June 2023 indicates that Namibia lost 623 lives to suicide, of which 511 are males and 92 are females. The Market Watch reports that as of 28 August 2023, foreign exchange reserves were 10 times more than the currency in circulation. International reserves stood at 53.1 billion Namibian dollars, while the currency in circulation was recorded at 4.9. These figures were revealed by the Bank of Namibia spokesperson Kadembira Dembruka upon a Market Watch inquiry on the minimum level of foreign exchange reserves required to maintain the one-to-one link between the Namibian dollar and the South African rand. Stay with us as we head into economic news shortly.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
The Johannesburg Stock Exchange will co-host a seminar with Eskom later in September to help the power utility deal with various financing options needed to fund its crucial grid expansion program, according to Electricity Minister Ramokgopa. The minister previously said Eskom needs upwards of 210 billion rand for the expansion. He said at a briefing on Sunday that aside from an $8.7 billion facility that came out of COP26, the new development bank, known commonly as BRICS Bank, said recently that it also had $3 billion financing option available for Eskom. Let's head into the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 18.92 next to the US dollar, with 23.55 Namibian dollars getting you 1 British pound. MTC made an uptick of 0.10%, whilst Leshego Holdings, Namibia Asset Management and Namibia Breweries were all in the red. Local index closed down 0.08%, while Strosco Group Holdings Limited closed up 4.20%. It's looking like gold and platinum both made downturns, whilst copper and Brent crude oil made upticks. Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa has been accused of nepotism. More in News from Africa.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news. Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa has been accused of nepotism after appointing his son as one of a new set of ministers following his controversial re-election last month. Mnangagwa yesterday named his son David Kudakwashe as Deputy Finance Minister as part of the Parliament's youth quota. He also appointed his nephew Tongai Mnangagwa, the Deputy Tourism Minister, local media reported. Mthuli Ncube, an ex-banker, was retained as the Finance Minister, while the ruling ZANU-PF Party's national chairperson Opam Chinguri Kashiri was reappointed as the Defense Minister. Outspoken main opposition Citizens Coalition for Change lawmaker Fadzai Mahere termed the new ministerial lineup as indefensible and accused Mnangagwa of stoking nepotism. There has been no official reaction from the ruling party or the presidency over the accusation. However, supporters of Mnangagwa say his son is qualified for the position. Let's talk Donald Trump as we head into international news.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Donald Trump has asked the judge overseeing his federal election meddling case to step aside due to previous statements she made in court. He said in a legal filing some past comments created a perception of bias against the former president. The request for a recusal was filed to Judge Tanya Shutkan on Monday. She is overseeing the case being brought by Special Counsel Jack Smith, who accuses Trump of a conspiracy to overturn his 2020 election loss. Trump has pleaded not guilty to the charges. The former president said last month that he planned to petition Judge Shutkan for a recusal. Let's swing over to local sport.
Stock up and save with the best deals at WB. Get 1 litre Vita Creamy for $11.99. 2 litre Nam Milk Omaere for $44.99. 200 gram top class spice mix for $11.99. 10 kg Hotchfeld maize for $84.99. Plus 2 kg surf washing powder for just $52.99. See more WB specials online at www.vurmanbrock.com. We care.
The highly anticipated clash between Cameroon and Burundi tonight in Cameroon will determine whether the brave warriors of Namibia will advance to next year's Africa Cup of Nations. The 2023-24 Deb Marine Premier League was launched yesterday morning at the Namibia Football Association Soccer House in Windhoek. The league has been sponsored to the tune of 18 million Namibian dollars by Deb Marine. 16 clubs will compete for the coveted trophy starting this weekend. And the Richelieu franchise T20 competition is back with 4 brand new teams vying for the top spot. The event will take place at United Sports Ground from 15 to 24 September. We're talking Spanish football in international news.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
A judge at Spain's top criminal court opened an investigation into former Spanish Football Federation President Luis Rubiales on Monday, following a lawsuit filed over his forcible kiss on Jenny Hermoso's lips after the Women's World Cup final. David Brooks scored his first international goal since returning from a cancer diagnosis as Wales kept their chances of reaching Euro 2024 with a 2-0 win away to Latvia on Monday. The task of succeeding Irish talisman Johnny Sexton has been beyond some, but in Jack Crowley, Ireland may have at last found their man. If you're just joining us, this is NMH at 1, and we'll get into the highlights from today's broadcast right after this.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Getting into the highlights from this afternoon's broadcast, Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa has been accused of nepotism after appointing his son as one of a new set of ministers following his controversial re-election last month. Donald Trump has asked the judge overseeing his federal election meddling case to step aside due to previous statements she made in court. And the highly anticipated clash between Cameroon and Burundi tonight in Cameroon will determine whether the brave warriors of Namibia will advance to next year's Africa Cup of Nations or not. Those have been your highlights. This has been NMH at 1. See you tomorrow.